Hi, this is Karen Jaff speaking, and we're lucky enough to have Dr. Nima here on the video. And really, I just wanted to ask him a few questions about stress and relationships. So, Nima, thank you.
Good to be here.
My big question really related to stress and I guess relationship and relationship breakdown, more to the point, is how does someone deal with the disappointment of a relationship breaking down or their sense of failure, that what they hoped would be their future is not their future?
That is the biggest challenge. Having gone through a divorce myself. First of all, I really wanted to say I'm not a relationship expert. I don't count. I'm not a relationship coach or a that kind of thing. I just specialize. I've just decoded stress, and I found that the source of it all is the same, whether you're dealing with money or relationship. These are the stresses that we have. So these are the topics that I talk about. And you can't have a stress within a relationship breakdown without having a fantasy about how your life should have been. What we do is we play a movie, a script in our lives about how it should be down the road, this same thing happened to me when I was going through my divorce. It's like, okay, so the relationship, quote unquote, failed. And the whole idea was, the white picket fence, the house, the grandkids, and all of this.
The happy ever after.
The happy ever after. The fantasy that I had projected in the future was basically crumbling down. So the first step is to become aware that it's not actually what's going on around you that's creating stress. What's happening is that picture that you had wasn't met. And anybody who has kids has seen this happen, where they have an expectation. It's like, okay, we're going to the park. Imagine you have, a 5-year-old, a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old, and you're driving to Disneyland, and they're all excited, and they have this expectation that they have the rides and the candy, and then this and then that, and then you show up at the door, and then Disneyland is closed that day. And now it's not the fact that Disneyland is closed that pisses them off. It's the fact that it's compared to this whole fantasy that they've had going in their minds about the entire day. That's what's happening with what you're describing as the disappointment. So the first step is to become aware that that's what's happening. It's a fantasy. We have these withdrawal symptoms of the dopamine connection that we've made to that fantasy of this happily ever life ever after that's doesn't really isn't really based in what's real, but it's based on what we see on TV or what we see on Facebook. And loving what is and appreciating what is, as Byron Katie says, is probably our biggest challenge. And so I wanted to come up with a method that helped you dissolve that fantasy. And what you can do just to help is to really get real and authentic with what your true values are at this time. And if you're feeling the state of disappointment with what's happening in your relationship, and that disappointment of the fantasy isn't going to be met, take a good look now at what your true values are, which is the connection with the kids, the work that you're involved in, your charitable the things that make time stand still for you, and realize that what's happening around you is actually on the way to that. And if you can keep linking, how is what's happening right now on the way to me achieving my highest vision rather than that fantasy, you're now starting to unravel those feelings of disappointment and become more grateful for what is. So it's all in the question that you ask.
Yeah, I see that.
So that's why I created the overview method, so that we could actually take those feelings, dissect them, and transform our perceptions of resentment for what is to appreciation for what is. And that changes everything. And I'll be in your neck of the woods to share that.
Yeah, that's really exciting. We're very excited that you're coming all the way to Amsterdam, across the pond.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's going to be May. So for anyone who's wanting to hear more of Nima, there's going to be a link at the bottom of this video, and you'll be sent across to a lot of attachment sites for all the events that will be. It's very exciting. Thank you, Nima. And thanks for answering that question.
No problem. All you have to do, if you have any other questions, just feel free to ask, and hashtag Ask Dr. Nima, and I will be happy to answer them for you. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple months.
Yeah, it's really not long. It's exciting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, ciao.